Right, is it working? Good. Right, so last week we started the test of, or the question of the test of Adam Rishon and how he could possibly have gone wrong. So he started off by talking about the level of Adam Rishon, that he was at a higher level than the Malachim. In fact, the Malachim, he was such a high level, the Malachim mistook him for Hashem Yisbarach themselves. They could not distinguish between this creature so far above them and Hashem, who was infinitely beyond them.
If he didn't do the cut, everybody would have been on that level?
Sorry?
If he didn't do the cut, would everyone be on that level?
Well, I would assume that we've been higher level. He was
one of the things that his milas, whether his Maisi Yoda of Shakadosh Baruch Hu.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't necessarily have gotten to his level, but maybe like just below.
Well, yeah. See, the whole thing, the whole trick really is that when Mashiach comes, apparently, or the stage after that, we get back to his level, which is the 49th level. The whole world was created with Bechira, and that's the raison d'etre of the world. So therefore, that's what we're talking about here. So what Bechira did he have? His Bechira was to go to the 50th level. So had he not got it wrong, then we, his children, whatever that means, would have been at the 50th level. And when the Mashiach comes, then we've got that's the job. But we were at that level at Adam Rishon was at that level, and we were at that level at Mamad Har Sinai when we got the Torah and blew it. So Rabbi Dessler writes somewhere, I can't remember where, that there will be it will be underwritten. You cannot go down, right? So you can't fall.
But he did.
Sorry?
But he did.
Yes, but when Mashiach comes, you won't be able to go down.
It's stacked.
But it's up to you. Yes, it won't be stacked, that's right, in your favor. But it'll be up to you whether you go up.
Was the concept when he fell so great? Because the higher they are, the harder they fall. He was so great that he did whatever and he came all the way down.
In a sense, yeah. Yes. Right, so we said that the Ramban, Rashi, various other people said he's got no Bechira, he's the, as you said, Maisa Katov, he's the handiwork of Hashem himself, he is perfect. So how could he ever do anything wrong? So then we turned to Reb Chaim Volozhin, and Reb Chaim Volozhin said that, no, he did have Bechira, but Bechira for him worked totally different to how Bechira works for you and I. In fact, that's how Rabbi Dessa starts off the whole essay in the Chelik base, page 137 of Miktam Elyon, when he says we should try and understand how radically different it was, which is where we're going to get to tonight. How was it different? It was different because, of course, the concept of evil existed because, as we said, the basic numerical component you need in order to have choice is 2. So if he's kulotoiv, if he's only good, and he only wants to do good, he rotates, as it were, in the same sphere, in the same, he makes us in the same circles as the planet. That sounds quite good. They rotate because Hashem wants them to rotate. They exercise no choice over it. They just want to do that. It's fine, that's what they do. Adam Rishon only wanted to do what Hashem wanted to do, but of course he didn't. Tricky thing. But certainly Bechira existed for him, but different to us, because in Adam Rishon's case, Bechira was something which was external to him. It existed. And the example Reb Chaim Volozhin gave was, you could throw yourself into a bonfire and burn to death, could you not? Yes. Would you want to do that? No. The idea is a possibility, but unless you're suffering from some serious mental illness or you wanted to do it for a political reason, then I told you the example of the Russians invaded Czechoslovakia, or as Buddhist monks used to do to protest the Vietnam War, set themselves on fire and burn themselves to death. As a rational thing, apart from a rational reason, it's totally irrational. The idea is so abhorrent, he would reject it outright. The idea of doing anything that Hashem didn't want him to do, that was abhorrent to him, and he would reject it outright. Then, now if you know this week, because you've now got it, you can look at page 138, which is more or less where we get up to. And let's launch in from the bottom paragraph. So here it says, Bir Devorav HaMameir. So with regard to what we said, this is, to bring it to life, now the situation occurs for you and I after the Chet of Adam Rishon. You at first blush, whatever the phrase would be, and when you hear the Yetzer Hara speaking to you, it speaks to you in the first person. I want. Right? Ani masava, I desire that. And then there's an opposite voice that rings in our head, but the voice speaks like somebody different to us.
Third person.
Sorry?
Second person.
Yeah. You. So you shouldn't. Right, so it's I want something bad, or I don't want to do something good. That's the I. But you, says the Yetzer Tov, you're not allowed to do that. Or you should go to shul or whatever the thing is you're supposed to be doing. Also, lachar, it's forbidden for you because Kalema haseichel v'amatzbein ataviyim mitzvah ataviyim yosha. That's to say, our brains, if you like, our intellect tells us to do that which is right, but it's an in about our desires. But the chila mazaha imataiva, generally, as it were, cloaked in taiva, physical desire. Avalokin etzel adam rishon. That's not the case with Adam Rishon. Here's the exciting bit. The came out says Adam Yosher. Hashem made him perfectly. And he did in his nature what was he was supposed to do. Because the Ramban said. That's the Sikalam Harotzen Bachefetz Hani. His desire, his eye, was only to do good. And the alternative was something external to him. A thought as appalling, as obscene, as throwing yourself onto fire and burning. That's so his eye was only to do good. You, says the voice from outside him, that's the idea of the Nochash. The Nochash is merely the moshel of the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara comes and said, you could do something else. Okay.
Like you would say, like, the chocolate cake is talking to me, eat me.
In case you might not have heard that was so nice. That's like people say that the chocolate cake is talking to me and saying, eat me. That's right. I love that. That's so good. Exactly. Okay. I've quite thought about that. I was talking to a chocolate cake today. I actually spoke to a chocolate bar today. And it said the same thing as the cake, which is quite amazing. Okay. Because the B'nefesh Chaim, that's what the B'nefesh Chaim saying. Because that's why the snake has to come from outside him. In other words, such a thing is not within him, it was not part of him, it wasn't in his DNA. To trick him up. That means that could never come to him from within. That was not part of him. That would never have been generated from within him. And I want to go and eat from the tree of knowledge. Because to do something which is page 139, to do something which is opposite what Hashem wants is so insane and so bizarre as to be something he would immediately reject. That's where the voice comes in. You could do that. So it's literally a reversal of the balance of how choice worked. Kol haba alav mechutz, the voice that came from his side, not from his eye.
It was never 50-50 then.
Sorry? No.
He was predisposed to good and we're predisposed to bad.
Oh, well, wait. That's you're jumping a little bit. But yeah, well, actually, don't forget, we've not yet solved the problem. All we've done is give ourselves a bigger headache.
But we're just drawing the...
Yeah, if I come and I say to you, right, I've got a great idea for you. That bonfire out there, go throw yourself into it. Thank you very much. And what illegal substances have you been taking? It's just so insane. So now the Yetzer Hara comes and says to Adam Rishon, right, and now you can eat what God doesn't want you to eat. Wink, wink, wink. We still haven't solved it. We've explained, as it were, the battleground. We've not, the strategy yet. All we've done is laid out the fact there was a war. Well, we'll come to that in a second. Because if he was only rooted in good, then now he comes to the question, and how could it be, therefore, of something that his I did not want? That's what I'm going on to explain. So look, let's just short circuit this a little bit. Sorry to use that phrase. But let's speed this thing up a little bit by simply saying we know what Chazal say that the Kol HaGadol Mechaver Yetzer Gadol Himenu. And I think I once told you when I first got married or remarried, if that's the correct phrase, then because of my official position at the University of Manchester, I was able to get sports. But we used to play badminton. So the badminton course, again, a whole court to ourselves. When nobody else was there, so I locked them all up. And my wife said she liked to play badminton. And I said, great, she played it when she was at UCLA. And I used to play it at a very high level. In fact, I used to play for Scotland. Well, in Scotland. Anyway, so we went down there. I'm sure I've told you this before. So, you warm up. So you take you know how this thing goes?
I've seen it.
You know what it is? No. Well,
It's like ping pong.
No, it's not ping pong. You run about. It's more like a tennis. It's more like a tennis court. Instead of hitting a ball, you're hitting.
With a paddle.
Americans call it a birdie. Yeah, a birdie. And if you imagine a cone,
Oh.
yeah, with
Okay,
feathers.
like net, little.
Yeah, that's right. It goes over a high net, okay? And you hit it like that. Okay, fine. So I used to be very good at this. So you warm up, right? So, okay, so why? Okay, let's play. Fine. So I stood there, and over went, and she hit it back, and I went, and it went, and I won the point. See, this whole expedition, Stanley, was a bonding thing. We're just newly married. This is, you know. But of course, even though I'd only been widowed for a year, I'd forgotten the 101s of relationships. You see, when a man plays sport, that's right. When a man see, my wife likes to play Scrabble, which is not nearly as good exercise. But she helps you, which drives me mad. Because I want to win and I want to completely destroy and demolish the opposition. Anyway, so ping. So we did it again, and again, ping, ping, and I think the third time I actually hit her in the forehead, which was really not good. And she's like tears in her eyes. And at that point, you know, I thought we were going to have fun, you know, because from a male point of view, that is fun, right? And the person going, it's good. Anyway, so basically at that point it was just so easy, and it was like, oh, that's not something. But once I was playing against a Pakistani guy, Pakistanis are big into badminton. So if you've ever seen it played sort of like at the Olympic level, it's astonishing. They're just like flashes of light. Anyway, so, and this guy just totally slaughtered me, and he was very nice. He says, "Why don't you play better?" And he wasn't being, you know, this is the best I can do, but not nearly as good as him. What I'm trying to say is, when the Yitzhahara comes, when he wants to trip Rubinstein up, piece of cake. It's like playing badminton with my wife. Right? That's something easy will get me, like the guy who came in front of me today. Oh no, I wanted to go into the lane, and I signaled that right, because that was easy, you know. Because that's fine. But if you want the Chofetz Chaim to trip up, you have to be far more subtle. Right, far more subtle. So really, now we set out the battlegrounds. The question.
It's Hillel.
Go on.
The Gemara says the fellow that tried to
get lose his temper. Yeah. So you have to be very, very subtle in order to get the Chofetz Chaim to lose his temper, or to do something bad. But imagine how subtle you would have to be. You would really have to up his game to the infinite in order to get Odorishan to do something wrong. Now again, watch what the logic is here. It's not in him to do something wrong. But let's see if we can persevere and work this out. Because of Oid Shom ben Nefesh Chaim says the following thing. As Nisarva Koikos Ara, B'soicha Mamish. Now when he eats from the tree of knowledge, there is both evil and good, which is now internalized. He now becomes, because you said all bad. We're not all bad. We're a mixture of good and bad.
Predisposed.
Predisposed to both.
I think more to it. If this is the ani is telling me to do bad.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're like a 51-49.
Okay. Became Ba'alamas. And he says just two interesting words here. Became Ba'alamas. So as Nisarva Koikos Ra B'soicha Mamish, there is negative within you, literally. Became Ba'alamas, and throughout the worlds. Now, what does that mean? This is interesting. I think we covered this about a year ago. Maybe this will ring a bell with you. There's the very strange story of Baal Pahar. Right? So the Torah obviously outlaws this avodah zarah. Everybody knows how we were entrapped by this one. But when you think about it, what was the service? How did they serve the idol? They went and they excreted in front of it. Which sounds the most... And that's why the Jews were entrapped, because this is, you know, to poo on an idol, that's, from a Jewish point of view, that's a good thing to do. Right? So that was the sneaky trap there. But leaving that aside, what on earth are they doing? However, what we've learned here, it's not such an insane idea at all. Because what happens is you eat food, your body metabolizes the food, and then it retains the nourishment and the bits of the food that it needs in order to be able to sustain itself, and rejects the stuff that it doesn't need. What it rejects is putrid, it's noxious, it is extremely toxic, it doesn't look very nice either. And you know, very, very bad stuff. It's an offering to the idol of pure bad. It was an idolatry that worshipped bad. When I was a kid, when I I was 16 and I was spending a couple of months in Paris, as in France. I met a young lady. I was walking on the street. She stopped me, and she asked for directions. And so I gave her directions for wherever she was going, which I think was the Eiffel Tower. Hardly surprising. And so she asked where did I come from, because of the accent. And she was American, from California. I said, what's your name? She said, Sin. Sin. And I said, oh, as in C-Y-N, short for Cynthia. I said, oh, Sin. I'd never met anyone from California when I was 16. I didn't see this one coming. Cynthia. No. S-I-N. Sin. I said, yeah, that's right. So I thought maybe sort of like it's a Korean name or something like that, you know. And no, as you said, a Satanist, right? So she worshipped, or whether her parents were, whatever. And there's, as you know, there's the Church of Satan in California, maybe elsewhere as well. And every single media, Jewish media, is the opposite. You don't forgive. You always have to take revenge. That sort of stuff, right? So here they're offering. I'm guessing it's pretty much like that. It was a worship of evil and bad. So you're giving an offering of bad. That's a celebration. This is bad. Bad's good. So stuff. Okay. So Nefesh Gam says, "Oh, this Abrakochas and Rabbi Tzeichel Mamish. Oh, we came by law. So there's no bad and good within him and throughout the world as well.
Yeah, it's after he did it.
So that's right. So it means
how
that.
to get there.
That's right. But the fruit and the food he would eat in Gan Eden. I mean, just like when we were ate manna in the desert. We didn't go to the restroom. We didn't need to. It was completely perfect. It's like if a mother nurses a baby. We all know this, fathers, we are. A mother nurses a baby, and there's almost nothing in the diaper. Right, nothing in the diaper, and it doesn't smell bad either.
You could even make a bracha in presence.
And that's right, exactly. However, if you feed formula, right, it stinks. The body has rejected a lot of it because why? Because what you're feeding him is milk for a baby cow. And your child is not a baby cow. So the body rejects a lot more of it. So the mon was perfect. There was nothing to be rejected. The food that he eats is perfect. There's nothing to be rejected. But now, once there's good and bad in you, there has to be good and bad in the world. The world has to fit you. In a sense, that's why when we started this up last week, I said, what was he like? So we saw that the Gemara says that the light that shone from his heels after he's dead was greater than 2 suns. Right? And then there's a whole series of Kalvachomas. That's the lowest part of his body. What's that light must have come from his head? And that's after he's dead. What's that light must have come from his head, or him when he was alive? And that's after he ate from the tree of knowledge. What was he like before? Boom, you start to lose this one. Okay, fine. So if that's what he was like, what was the world in which he inhabited like? Perfect for him. A perfect world for a perfect spiritual creature. But now that he's eaten from the tree of knowledge, and therefore it becomes good and bad, then the world has to be matim, has to fit him as well.
And that action brought much more evil.
That's right, absolutely. And he changes almost the worlds, right? So now there's
the world with a drop of
that's right.
the hero of that, and he's in it, and it comes from
yes. So that's the story here. Now, so it's absolutely. Let's see. But I'm only digging you deeper into the trench. Let's try and get out. Okay, so he says, so both good and evil are throughout the world. Literally intertwined. Das perishes because das perish. What does das mean? Knowledge. I'm not going to get into that. It's a whole philosophical thing. Understanding joint connections and stuff like that. King Kozal came by Rachaim. He says the same thing in Rachaim. Certainly before he ate from the tree of Das, he was certainly created to be somebody with freedom of choice. That's from the get-go. But how freedom of choice? That's Rabbi Dessa what we're considering here. How it worked, totally different. But he could have, there he says, he could have chosen to be completely good or completely bad. But when he eats from the eights of Das, then there's a mixture of both in him. Now we get. Yeah.
Even beforehand?
Yeah.
We could have chose to be all bad.
Yeah.
As after what we said before.
Wasn't it like jumping into the fire?
Sorry?
Didn't you say it was compared to like the
I don't know what you mean.
temptation to jump?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I'll have to ask somebody who knows things. Somebody who knows things. Okay.
He's quoting the Ruach Chaim.
Yeah, I could look up in the Ruach Chaim, and I just finished learning the Ruach Chaim a year ago, so I should, of course, know this immediately. But well, it's been a very tiring day. We spent all day in the hospital. It's so stressful, hospitals.
Yes.
And of course, you wait for the results of tests, and that's and 5 years of memories come flooding back, waiting for the results of tests. Not good.
My cousin was just diagnosed with cervical cancer today.
Really? Well, I just finished writing, and I'm going to pause for a second. I write for Ahmadiyya in the Indian magazine, so my masterpieces. I wrote about her in my little book for Big Worries, which has been Bob Shim's very successful in helping lots of people. In fact, I put 2 copies in the Jewish room, the remission room, I forgot what it's called, there for Jewish people to go and discuss your food and stuff. So a little library to put 2 of my little book for Big Worries in there as well. And I wrote about my late wife had a cousin. She was called Dora. Her real name is Devorah Shane, I think. Anyway, so everybody's called Dora. And she, remarkable lady, astonishing. I've got to tell you this. It's nothing really to do with you. I can't resist telling you this. Her Zaidi came from Lita. And he got on the boat, and they became pals with a Polish guy. So a Fisher Jew and a Polish Jew, and they're heading for America. So the boat stops in Scotland to refuel before the Atlantic crossing. Refuel means took coal and stuff like that. So it's like a day when they can walk about. Somehow or other they bump into some Jews. Some Jews welcome them. Why do you want to go across the dangerous Atlantic crossing? Or maybe they ran out of money, I'm not sure, but they decided to stay in Edinburgh. They stayed there, were welcomed there, everything very much there. A short time after that, British citizenship, fantastic. Short time after that, conscription to the British Army, First World War. And his daughter was telling me this. There they are in a trench, about to go over the top. What is the attrition rate? Do you know? The Germans had the machine guns just ready. It was the Maxim 8, I think it was called 08, which is water cooled. This huge, 2 guys, huge big thing. And the attrition rate was, as soon as the whistle went and you went over the top, 17.5, if I remember rightly, were killed outright, and 32 point something percent were shot seriously. I mean, it's big bullets, right? Probably blew your legs off, sort of thing. There's lines, 50 something percent. Every time you went over the top. So they're just about to. They're waiting for the whistle, holding. This is the picture I love. Do you have Michigan holding on to their rifles, about to go to the top, wearing their kilts. Because they're in a Scottish regiment. Oh gosh. Anyway, so Velvel said to Samey was the Lipite, I think, or Velvel. No, sorry. Velvel was the Lipite. Samey, Shmuel in Yiddish. He was the Chassid, he was the Polish. That's right. So Samey says to Velvel, it's about time you thought about a Shidduch. And my sister, Shana Malka, whatever her name was, she's just come from Daheim. Well, I'd like you to meet her. Now, I don't know what you would be thinking when you think you're going out there and half your head's going to be blown off. But somehow or other they survived. That's the Battle of the Somme, I think. And they made a Shidduch, right? And that was her mummy and her daddy. That's my late wife's cousin.
So
she married what?
And how did your parents?
In the trenches, yeah. Her husband, who was a lovely, lovely fellow, he was a Cohen. He was called Sidney. His Hebrew name, I can't remember that. Anyway, so Shmuel Haim. Anyway, basically, he was in the British Army, Scottish Regiment during the Second World War. My father was also Second World War. My grandfather was in the trenches. The First World War, same story. Don't know if they knew each other. My father was gassed. My grandfather was gassed by the Germans, which is why I'm here today. Anyway, so to cut a long story short, there was a famous battle called the Battle of Arnhem. And in the Battle of Arnhem, the British extended themselves too far, the Germans cut them off, and he was taken prisoner. He was taken prisoner by the SS. Her husband was taken prisoner by the SS. Surrounded him, Bist du ein Jude? So first of all, he looked very Jewish. I was going to say, you're going to take down his pants and see he's got breast meat, and that's that. So he said, yes, he is. Anyway, stuff goes off, somehow or other. They didn't shoot him on the spot. They processed him as a regular British soldier and he went to a POW camp as opposed to a concentration camp. But her battles with cancer were quite amazing. So when she died when she was 76, she got her first diagnosis of cancer when she was just over 50. And she got bladder cancer. I just finished writing this, and of course I was in the hospital today, and that's why I was thinking about it. And so that was treated very successfully. 3 years later, she got a different cancer. She got breast cancer. Different cancer. Mastectomy, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, then it came back, another mastectomy, chemotherapy, fine, okay. Then she got bone cancer. Oh, sorry, skin cancer first, then bone cancer. Now, they'd given her between 3 and 5 years. She died 20 years later of a heart attack. 5 different cancers couldn't get her. And that's not, she was a medical phenomenon. When she came out, when she used to make this joke, when she went down to the operating theatre, she said, it's not a very good theatre, but they still managed to have you in stitches. You know, the show is not a very good show they put on in that theatre, but they still managed to. She had this tremendous sense of humour, and her whole shit was gams at the time. Incredible. Sorry, totally off the subject. Anyway, back to this. Okay, but isn't that incredible? Yeah. Imagine 20 years, and you can see her smiling. Oh, it's a heart attack. All these doctors said you're not going to last. Okay. But there is a Yesh Levar Divrei Rambam. So look at page 139. I'm very sorry that you were watching this at home. I couldn't resist it, but it's been a tough day, and I needed to share. But there is a Yesh Levar Divrei Rambam Reish Moreh Nevuchim. Now, with understanding that, you can see what the Rambam means in the beginning of Moreh Nevuchim. Before the Chet Adam Rishon was unfamiliar, it was alien to him the concept of Toiv Ra. What does that mean? Shuhem Hanoi V'Hamaguna, which the Ramban translates Toiv Ra as Noi and Maguna. How would you translate Noi and Maguna? Well, Noi,
beautiful,
pleasant, yeah. Maguna, the opposite. Repulsive. Okay, fine. But he, the creature, got to say the creature that we've described till now, he only saw emes and sheker. Emes and sheker. When we see with absolute clarity the evil is, and the good that toiv is, then we see only emes and sheker. That's emes. What Hashem wants is emes. There is nothing else. And sheker is anything which denies that. Black and white. Okay. Perish ha-toiv. Toiv is Hainu Shah Rotzon Hashem, Hu Levada Emes L'Kayim. Only that exists and has as reality. But Ra Hainu Kol Mashu Hu Neged Rotzon Hashem. Anything that opposes Hashem is Ra. Harei Sheker V'Babel. And it has no reality. It's just a dimion. It's just a hallucination of fantasy. Because what Hashem wants is obviously going to be Mekayim. See Purim's story for further details, Mr. Heyman. As Kol HaMetzias Zelo Ein, and anything apart from it, doesn't have any reality. How therefore could anything which has no reality oppose what Hashem wanted? To do something Hashem wants is to want something that doesn't exist. You're believing nonsense. You've gone crazy. But if you're more like you and I, you don't see it as toivara, as emes and sheker. We see it as toivara. I know you've got to rush off to other shiurim, I'll tell you this outside. If I describe something as emes and sheker, right? If I was to say to you, you want directions, right, to place A. That road there is a very, very straight road, right? If you go there, you'll get there in a second, and you can see it. You can see it. And that road there, and I point to a field full of cows. That'll take you a bit longer. Which road are you going to take? I'm just describing insanity. Right, one's a road, and you can see it, and it's a straight road. Signs saying go to Brooklyn, right? And this one's, it's not a road, right? That's when it's black and white. But when it's now changed, the way that we see it is, see that emes and sheker, these are absolute terms. Toiv Ra is a relative term, is it not? Think about that. Emes and sheker is objective. Absolute terms. This is emes, this is sheker. But toiv ra means, see the difference? The difference is both are roads. This is a good road. That's a bad road. But it's still a road. You see what a change occurs? Before he eats from Eitz there's only emes and sheker. There is nothing else. But now, toiv ra. No, of course I don't do what Hashem doesn't want me to do. That's a bad way to go. Oh, but it's a way to go. Before I never saw it as a way to go. There was no alternative. Which leads us back to our question.
How do you get off?
How did you get on that road? How did you get on that road? And you got to go to a share, so I'm going to stop there. We've got to there, and we will get the answer next week. Oh, actually, not next week, because next week is Purim, isn't it? Shushan Purim. Whichever way you look at it, I'll be in Manchester, England. So if you'd like to come to Manchester,